Oh, good. Have any of you seen Colonel Clark or any of the other men of the 13th Ohio Cavalry? I became detached from my regiment, and I'm not sure where they've gone off to. I can't find them. And to be completely honest, I'm not exactly sure where I'm at. Although this place does seem strangely familiar. Well, see, like you people can't hear me. Oh, that's right. I've been here before, starting to remember. This is that little village where we surrounded Lee's army, Appomattox. I was up there on that ridge over there. Custer's division, they had gotten here a bit before us. And they'd captured the trains up at the station, fought a battle up that way. And they were worn out from that. And so my brigade was sent in to secure the road up there, hold until the infantry could arrive. The 13th, we were deployed on either side of the road as skirmishers. We threw up quick fortifications, just fence rails and things before us. We lined up our cartridges on the fence rails so we could load our guns faster than ever. And then we waited. We waited until the next morning. And just as the sun began to come up, we could just barely make out through the fog a sea of gray forming before us. And the Rebs, they had to have had us outnumbered near 10 to 1. But they only had Enfields. We had carbines and Henrys. And so they came and they hit us hard, but we fought harder. And we held them off for a while, but they eventually pushed us over the ridge, and they followed us up over it. On the other side, though, we stopped, turned back around, formed skirmish lines again. And that's where I was wounded. Well, one of those Secesh mini balls struck me in the side. I fell to the ground. What are these? Letters. I do love to write them. I wrote many of them back in Petersburg. And in the ones to my father, I'd always ask him for more pens and paper so that I could write even more. But this one's strange. I didn't write this one. April 12th. Joel Carter, dear sir. By request of your son Levi, I address to you these few lines. As I was advancing on the enemy on the 9th of this month, I saw your son lying on the ground wounded through the side. But I guess not serious. I rendered him all the aid I could and passed on. Must have been that boy from the 123rd who stopped to see if I was all right. Kind of him to write my family. After advancing on the enemy a half mile, they sent in a flag of truce and surrendered their army to U.S. Grant. That's right. We did it. We forced old Bobby Lee to surrender. And it was my brigade, my regiment, that helped do that. Stopped them in their tracks up there in the field. But then after that, my brigade, they headed south, down towards North Carolina. And they were going to go put down the next rebel army under Johnston. But they left without me. I was sent up to a hospital in Baltimore. And that's actually where I penned these words to my father. April 23rd. My dear father, as this is the first opportunity I have had to write you a few lines, I thought I would let you know how I'm getting along. I was wounded on the 9th of this month during the last battle before Lee surrendered. But my wound is not dangerous. The ball struck just above the left hip and came out in the waistband of the pants. I am feeling well except for my wound, and that does not pain me much. Don't worry, for I am in a good hospital and have good nurses. Well, that is enough scribbling for now. I remain your son until death. Your affectionate son, Levi Carter. I wonder how Father's getting along. Or for that matter, how everyone's doing back home. Strange, another letter I didn't write. Jarvis, USA General Hospital, Baltimore, Maryland, May 1st, 1865. Mr. Joel Carter, dear sir, I regret to convey to you the sad tidings of the death of your son, Levi Carter, Company K, 13th Ohio Cavalry, which has recently occurred at this institution. He was here about a week, having arrived from City Point with a wound in his left side, said to have been received April 9th at Appomattox Station. He was likewise attacked with other ailments. I endeavored to converse with him in reference to death and to secure from him some message for his family, but he was delirious and could hold no rational conversation. Neither did he appear sufficiently sensible to understand his situation. He received the best skill and care, and everything was done for his recovery. May the Lord sustain and comfort you in this great affliction. Chaplain F.A. Braun. so I never made it home. I never got to go back and tell everyone what I did here, what I helped accomplish. I never got to go back to a hero's welcome, receive all the hugs and kisses from the girls back home. I never got to hear my family tell me how proud they were of what I had done for the country. And now I suppose my spirit's just left to linger on this earth. I suppose I was likely one of the last men killed because of this battle. Family. I wish I could see them once more. I always sign my letters to them. I remain your son, or I remain your brother until death. Now I suppose I realize the bonds of family stretch far beyond the grave. If only there was some way that I could tell them that now. Perhaps I could if I could just get back home. If I could get back to Ohio. I believe north is that direction, which means home must be somewhere off that direction. But that's where I've got. I've just got to tell them.